We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey, so make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good today. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready.
Get ready. Y'all get ready.
Yes, you get ready.
Because this tea is what? Piping hot. When I tell you 2017 is going out with a bang, and it went down yesterday on social media, and I was here for it, bitch. I had my teacup in hand, honey. So if you guys do not know, the two great conscious leaders are currently beefing all over social media. Both of them are trending. Yes, that's Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson, honey. Pull up a chair, get your teacups, and let me go ahead and break down how everything started. So what initially started is that a few tea sippers had sent me a message saying, yo, Umar Johnson's GoFundMe is gone. If you check the link, it's not there anymore. So I was like, well, damn, did they shut it down? Did he close it down? What's going on? So I walked my ass over to GoFundMe, and Umar Johnson's campaign was gone. So I'm like, damn, I wonder what he's going to have to say about that. So I had just kind of been chilling on his page, waiting for him to address what was going on. Honey, when I tell you Umar Johnson done posted a picture of Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Boyce Watkins, he was like, y'all been talking all that shit about me, but guess what? Today I got time, cuz.
You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz. Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz? I don't fuck with you, cuz you disrespecting me. I don't fuck with you, cuz you disrespecting me. I go hard, cuz.
Yes, Umar Johnson had time last night, honey. When I tell you he went in. Let me go ahead and break it all down to y'all. Basically, he posted a picture of Dr. Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed, and this is what he wrote. He wrote, hashtag unapologetically African, Instagram live from Houston, Texas, Friday, December 29th, 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Umar Johnson responds to recent disrespectful comments concerning his school funds and upcoming hearing. So Umar was ready. So once people ran to go tell Tariq what was going on, Tariq then took to Twitter and Instagram and he wrote, Umar Johnson just put up a post talking about he's going to address me and his gloves are off. My message to Umar is bring that shit on, player. I'm not one of these other dudes you talk that slick trash about. I can take the gloves off too. Umar has been disrespecting me for years and I have said nothing. I ain't giving no more passes to this dude. Try me. Okay, that was my best Tariq voice, okay? So anyhow, so once Umar saw that, Umar then replied back, honey, it was such a mess. So then Umar goes underneath his post and he says, since your sweet ass talking that shit, we can set a date, get in the ring for real boxing ring, real gloves, real ass whooping. So then Tariq Nasheed says, now bitch ass Umar talking about how we gonna get in the ring and box. I don't need no ring. It can be on site whenever you see me, you fat fuck boy. You trying to step to me and I will snatch off your dashiki and slap your titties around. Fraud ass dude. So of course social media was going crazy with all the beefing and all the drama. Honey, it was a hot damn mess. And then Tariq came back and he posted a picture of a walrus with a damn kufi on. And he goes, this fat, fraudulent ass, walrus looking ass nigga, Umar Johnson, keeps trying to start beef to deflect away from the fact that he conned everyone out of their money for his non-existent school that he never was going to build in the first place. There is no school, folks, and there's not going to be a school. I peeped this out a while back, so I wasn't surprised over his bullshit excuses. Honey, when he said that, social media went crazy, and like I said, they started trending on social media. So I was like, okay, I got to be here to listen to this whole, debacle so I can report on it. And so Umar Johnson was late. You know what I'm saying? He did not start at 11:30. He started at 12:30. And he was on for about 2 hours and he spoke about everything. He addressed Boyce Watkins. He said basically his issue with Boyce is that if you Google Umar and Boyce Watkins talks about Umar Johnson all the time, which he does. There's a lot of videos of Boyce Watkins addressing Umar. And there seems to be an underlying jealousy or insecurity. And basically, he was going in on him. And then he went on to address Tariq Nasheed. He basically said that he's the one who made Hidden Colors. And that Hidden Colors popped because of him. And that Tariq Nasheed is using white people. He said when he first did Hidden Colors 1, he had one black man who was his camera and sound guy. But then when he made the money off of that, he went on to only hire white people as far as like his editing team, his camera people. And he felt like, you're making all this money. You have black folks raising your crowdfunding to produce these movies. You made so much money off of Hidden Colors 1. That money you made off of Hidden Colors 1, you could have reinvested that to make Hidden Colors 2 and 3. But instead, each time you use black people to give you money to create these movies, but you don't hire black people, you don't have them as your editors.
All the black people with film production companies, you can't find a black company to produce your documentaries, bruh? You giving our money to crackers and you claim to be against white supremacy? You's a fraud. You just want to be famous by any means necessary. I feel you. You just want to be famous by any means necessary. I feel you. And let me say this, brothers and sisters. Let me say this. Even though I don't mess with the dude, for the sake of saving face for the community, whenever I'm asked about Hidden Colors, I direct people to him.
And Umar Johnson isn't saying anything new. People have been saying this for years, that the people who worked on Hidden Colors are Jewish people. You can go and Google the names of the production people. They're not black people. So he wasn't really saying anything new. But again, black folks still donated and still supported. In my personal opinion, I am a fan of Hidden Colors. I have the entire series. I've made my boys watch them. Regardless of how I feel about anybody personally, I don't know these people, so I don't really care. But I do enjoy Hidden Colors, and I'm not going to take that away from Tariq. He literally put all of this information that has been on books and, that you have to scour the libraries for. He put it into a visible format for the younger generation. You can't knock him for that. And I feel like a lot of people are jealous because he came up with that concept. Because Tariq Nasheed is not saying anything new. He's not saying anything in Hidden Colors that hasn't been said for generations. But he was the first one to take it and put it in a visual form for the younger generation. And for that, I can't knock him. And in my personal opinion, yes, Umar Johnson, his delivery in Hidden Colors was very powerful, but he wasn't the only one. There was a lot of powerful people in Hidden Colors. I learned a lot from everybody. There are people in Hidden Colors I didn't even know about. I didn't even know they existed, that Tariq Nasheed introduced me and my children to. So I think for him to say that he's the one who made Hidden Colors pop was a little bit on the arrogant side. During his rant, a lot of his ego was coming up, but I understand him for being frustrated. I think he's going through a lot. He also talked about Tariq Nasheed's, macking. He even posted on Instagram. Coward ass Sister Nashida said he doesn't need a ring. Okay, then I'm free after January 3rd. How and where do you want to do this? I'm waiting for your response, you lame, showing off in the public eye. Gonna get your ass whooped, boy. I ain't Hollywood. So Umar Johnson was here to put in that damn work, okay? So after Umar Johnson spoke for about 2 hours and broke stuff down, then, of course, everybody ran to, Tariq Nasheed's page. And I guess Tariq Nasheed was trying to do a live stream at the same time. So I guess maybe so his followers wouldn't be listening to Umar Johnson. Because it was funny that all of a sudden he was doing a live stream at the same exact time that Umar Johnson was. So on Tariq Nasheed's live stream, he was basically roasting Umar. He even posted a picture saying that Umar Johnson had a herpes bump on his lip and he had to pay extra money to have the video people edit it out. I mean, it was a hot mess.
Let it slide. I've let it slide. He's a fuck boy, man. Umar's a fuck boy. I stayed. People, man, y'all don't start that. Man, y'all can't be doing this, man. How much longer I gotta let this fake ass, con ass, fraudulent ass nigga just take shots at me, man? I made your movie hot. I made the Hidden Color series hot. Bitch nigga, Umar, you've been in a whole bunch of fucking documentaries. None of them have popped off, fuck nigga. But this nigga is trying to present himself like some kind of conscious Suge Knight. Nigga, I'm so with the shit, you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. Umar, I'm not Seti. I'm not Brother Polite, no disrespect to him or Seti. I'm not Boyce. I'm not these dudes, and I'm not saying anything negative about them, but nigga, that rah-rah shit don't work on me. You gotta come see me. If you with the shits, be with the shits and stop all that gangster talk on the internet. Nigga, Umar, I'm gonna tell you, if you ever step to me, nigga, I will tie your motherfucking beard into Bantu knots and make you my bitch. That's why I ain't about to be out here lying for this nigga. There is no school. There is no school, and there never was. This nigga is a traveling preacher. I'm the biggest scholar. I'm the most requested scholar on the planet. The shit keeps coming back on me because they know that I legitimized Umar Johnson. Nobody knew who the fuck Umar Johnson was before he was in my movie, and he knows that. And I want y'all to take a good look at him on Hidden Colors 2. Umar showed up on set with a big fucking herpes sore on his lip. Umar from Hidden Colors 2, look at his mouth. When I'm talking to him, I'm looking at this big dripping herpes sore in his fucking mouth. I'm like, what kind of broads is this nigga fucking with? Even then, I said, this nigga must be fucking with dirty broads. I had to go to my editor. It cost me a couple of extra $1,000 to do some computer generation to kind of, in color correction, to shade the fucking herpes bump off this nigga's mouth because I couldn't have a nigga on the big screen in my movie with a big dripping fucking herpes sore on his mouth.
It was more of a roasting. And he said that Umar had been throwing shots at him for years. And I can, attest to that because there was a video on YouTube where Umar was saying that he's putting in work and basically, all people are doing are getting rich, making DVDs for the conscious community. They're not out there in the field actually doing the work. So that video had been put out there and a lot of people, knew that he was taking shots at Tariq. So, a lot of folks want to know my opinion on this entire situation. And my opinion is this. First and foremost, this is why, again, I don't look up to anybody. And this is why I just don't fool with a lot of people on social media. And that's why you also have to be careful who you co-sign and who you tell people to go fuck with or listen to. Because at the end of the day, it comes back on you. Even Tariq Nasheed was apologizing for co-signing Umar and having his followers donate to Umar's school and everything else. And this is why I keep to myself and I roll solo dolo, okay? Because a lot of people show their true colors after a while. Do you notice that most of these people who so-called put each other on Black YouTube, they end up beefing with each other? They're all cool and I looked up to you and I used to watch your videos and I'm such a fan. And then, it strokes that person's ego. Then that person allows them to come on their platform. And then within about a year, they start beefing. So I'm basically over the Black conscious or the Black YouTube community in general. It's a bunch of nonsense. I mean, think about all these people who have worked together, who claimed they were all cool, only for them to fall out. Yet and still, all these people claim to be in positions of leadership, in positions of, helping out, these confused Black folks and these lost Black people. It's really, really sad. And so that's why I go back to saying you have to be really careful who you allow on your platform and where you put your energy towards. It's better for you to create your own shit, and do your own thing than to be sitting here trying to collab and act like you're so cool with this person just so you can get views and follows, because that shit always crumbles in the end. I've seen this time and time again on social media. Another thing we have to remember, and I'm about to get really deep here, is that fame is a hell of a drug, okay? And I don't care if it's fame, like, okay, this person's on TV and people know them, or if it's something as simple as having follows on Instagram, having a following on Facebook, having a following on YouTube. It's not being put out there that Facebook is admitting that they worked with, government agencies and psychologists when developing Facebook, because they wanted to keep you on something that could keep you distracted and that could pump and release your dopamines. Meaning, okay, every time you get a follower on Facebook, every time you're on Instagram, Instagram is doing the same thing as Facebook, so I'm going to use them interchangeably, okay? Every time you're on Instagram and somebody hits a like, these things create dopamines, and dopamines feel good. You know what I'm saying? Every time you get a follower, it feels good. You feel like, you are somebody. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people are famous. A lot of these people are known well on the internet because they weren't able to make it in the real world or be famous or be on television. So this is the next best thing, is YouTube fame and Instagram fame. And, you can't be a model ripping the runway in Milan, but you're an Instagram model with millions of followers. A lot of people will take that instead because, again, that's instant gratification. So what I'm saying is that those dopamines, once they're released in your system, after a while, when you're constantly getting praised online and you're constantly seeing likes and your followers are growing, it starts to affect the ego. And that's what I'm seeing here with a lot of these people, a lot of these, social media personalities, these YouTube personalities, these Black conscious leaders, that now the dopamine that they've acquired over the past few years of people constantly stroking their ego and telling them how great they are, it's gone to their heads. So I want you guys to go ahead and watch this video really quick, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
This conversation with Axios, Parker repeatedly describes Facebook like an addictive drug, which of course functionally it is. When he and his partners designed their product, Parker says they kept one question in mind, quote, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible? The answer they found was with a steady stream of dopamine hits to your brain in the form of likes, comments, and new posts. Parker acknowledges Facebook has become an epidemic that is devastating this country. Quote, it literally changes your relationship with society and each other, he said. God only knows what it's doing to our children's brains. Let that sink in. Imagine how you would feel if you actually believed you had injured the brains of millions of children. Sean Parker does not seem especially concerned by this. In fact, in his interview with Axios, he brags about how rich it has made him. Quote, because I'm a billionaire, I'm going to have better access to health care, Parker said. I'm going to be like 160, and I'm going to be part of this class of immortal overlords. You know the expression about compound interest? Give us billionaires an extra 100 years, and you'll know what wealth disparity looks like.
All right, so you guys just saw that video. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of this is just a case of multiple people, their egos and their personality chasing fame. You know what I'm saying? These are all dopamine hits. When you think about it, why are all these people who are supposedly leading the Black community, why do they sit online so much? I've never seen grown men and women sit online more than I've seen in this so-called community. These folks sit on Instagram Live all day, Facebook Live, Twitter, tweeting all day. How can you be really in the streets doing work when all you do is sit on social media, or you're constantly doing YouTube, 2 and 3 hour YouTube podcasts every day, not one time, not once a week, but every day? It's just weird. You know what I'm saying? And I have folks coming at me like, oh, well, you're so elusive, or you really don't be on, social media like that, or why is your Instagram page, private? Because I'm not here for the bullshit. I just don't have time for it. I'm not into any of this nonsense. I like to create my content, do my editing, put my videos out a few times a week. And when I'm not in the mood or I'm not feeling good, I'll leave for 2-3 weeks with no apologies. It's like people have now gotten so addicted to social media, it's scary. And when you have these so-called leaders or people that you place in the position of leadership in the Black community, behaving in this way, it lets you know how far society has fallen. And social media is driving so much stuff and so much negativity. It's sad. And that's why people have to pick and choose their battles. I mean, ask yourself, if these people were really serious about helping the community and were really serious about being leaders, why would they be behaving in this way? Why would they be talking about each other in this way? You know, all these people claim to be so pro-black and so, you know, for the black community. I heard the N-word being used over and over again to address each other. I mean, the whole situation is sad. And to be honest with you, I also feel like the reason why Umar Johnson is starting beef with Tariq and Boyce and all these people is because he's really upset about what's happening to himself. And I think this is kind of a way for him to say, basically, if I'm going down, I'm taking all y'all so-called leaders, all y'all making money off the community, I'm taking y'all down with me. Because I can see his point how he can be frustrated because everybody wants him to, you know, be accountable for the money and explain where the money's going and where the school's at. But then nobody asks, you know, Tariq, well, what are you doing with the money that you make from Hidden Colors? Nobody's asking Boyce Watkins, well, what are you doing with the money that you make from this school? Where are these people who took your classes and have businesses that are flourishing that they can say that they got this because of Boyce Watkins? Where's your paperwork that's showing that you really help people? So I think that that's where Umar Johnson is right now, is he feels like, why is he the only one who's being targeted? Why are people counting his books? Why are people worried about his GoFundMe when all of these people have Kickstarters and, you know, they ask for money, but nobody's questioning what they do as far as helping black people. Nobody's asking them for receipts. And I think that's what's really bothering Umar deep down inside, is that he's the only one being questioned. Meanwhile, nobody's questioned either one of these two. So, and I'm not trying to hint or say that anybody's doing anything fraudulent with the money that goes for Umar, Tariq, Boyce. I don't know these people. It's not my business. I've never been to Boyce's school, so it makes me no difference. I have donated to Hidden Colors. I don't care personally what he's done with the money because he's given me a good product and I've learned a lot from his series. So, you know, this video is not to throw anybody under the bus. It's just basically, you know, my opinion on the outside looking in. I think the saddest part of all this is that so many people look up to these two men. And I know even as a mother, I introduced my own children to these two men to, you know, initially listen to them. I'm not sure what's going to happen to Umar Johnson as far as this whole case goes with the school. Hopefully he'll be able to provide them with the evidence that he needs. But I just feel like all of this, you know, these attacks and this going back and forth on social media, not only does it make the conscious community and the black community look like, okay, once again, you guys cannot get along and you guys are always beefing. It just makes it look very unprofessional as well. Like, I'm sure you have a lot of so-called white leaders who don't get along behind the scenes, who may have, you know, animosity towards each other, but you'll never see them going on live streams and going at each other. And I think that's the saddest part of the situation, is that you have two black men with big followings, powerful followings, and instead of them combining their followings together and trying to build something, it's like their egos are causing them to clash. But again, Umar Johnson did call them out first, so Tariq is just trying to defend himself from what Umar is saying. But like I said, I also feel like Umar's calling them out because he's the only one under scrutiny. Meanwhile, nobody really scrutinizes Boyce or Tariq. So that's what I take away from the situation. At the end of the day, you have to lead yourself. It's, you know, you can't look up to people on the internet that y'all don't know and expect them to lead you. That's what I always preach on this channel. Don't look at me, bitch. I am not your role model. I make YouTube videos, I take care of my children, and I keep it damn moving, okay? I'm not here to be your role model or your voice. I speak for TT and TT alone. And unfortunately, too many people are looking for a father figure, a mother figure. They're looking for people to lead them. And then you have a lot of people on YouTube who want this leadership position, and they want to act like they're leading folks, but their lives are far from pristine themselves. So it's like, how can you lead people when your life is not in order? And I feel like right now Umar Johnson's life is kind of in chaos, and I think he needs to kind of step away from social media and just clear his mind and get himself back together, because I just feel like deep down inside this man is losing it. That I just feel like he's going through a lot. Hopefully that man does not have a mental breakdown. I wish all these people the best, honey, but I just think this entire situation definitely could have been handled better. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. And make sure you click that bell so you can be down with the notification squad, honey. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.